This is the Long Hop Cricket Podcast. And I know all 138 of you have heard these words before. Some of you may think they hold no weight, they are no truth. Another apology, another lie. But we are sorry. Yes, we've been away for a while, but we are good men. We make mistakes, but it's us, not you. We do still care, but sometimes, just sometimes, we mess up. And we just want to say we're sorry. We know you've heard it before, but we needed to say it again. And this isn't like the other time. With tears in my eyes, I can only beg for forgiveness. We are the Long Hop Cricket Podcast. And we're back again. There you go. It's just something for the subscribers.
Well, really, that's all you, really, isn't it? That's got very little to do with me,
that's an apology on another apology.
Well, it's an apology from you, really.
I need to put that phone on charge.
You should also let people know why you're apologising.
So, I gave off a big rant /
On a podcast they didn't hear.
No, I think it was on another podcast. Yeah, it was. Saying there's regular uploads.
Right.
Oh, that's clever. Do you remember
right, yeah, okay.
everyone was commenting nice stuff because
Right.
So obviously the last podcast you heard all that stuff. Me saying that we're going to come back again, just like it was in the summer.
Yeah.
Regular uploads.
Mm.
And then you did come round. We made a good start. You came round for that first T20.
Yeah.
We recorded an episode.
It was I think a
We
piece
looked
of
at comments.
fried gold it was.
We even liked some of the comments with the YouTube liking thing.
Oh, right.
Not just that we
Yeah.
liked them. And then you left, and I thought I might come back to this tomorrow.
Right, yeah. Just neglected it, really.
Well, maybe other things are in the way. But
maybe you got your priorities wrong. Just once. Just once. You just...
Maybe I misjudged the situation.
Maybe. Possibly.
Well, there are lessons that have been learned.
Yes,
in the
there
last
are.
week,
There are a few.
I closed the laptop lid.
And
That first T20 then vanished.
yeah,
I left
good,
it.
isn't it?
I just left it a day and then came back to it and bang, the grime had gone.
Right, without leaving it on charge and not saving it when it runs out of charge. It
Thing is, though, I thought
gets rid of it.
well, I did think, to my defence, with the laptop folded in half,
Right.
closed, then it wouldn't be eating up charge. But obviously, what do I know?
There you go.
We're never,
So
I
what
can't-
we've apologised now. I think that covers it, doesn't it? We can leave it now.
And I think what we would like to say is, this is the last time you'll hear an apology.
Yeah, because if we forget to upload again, we're not saying sorry again.
We're just not going to forget again. We're not going to forget.
Yeah.
Well, we came together that once, and we did get together again.
Yeah, but I feel like
We played
the
GTA.
first one hadn't been uploaded yet, so
Oh, do you feel like there was a bit?
it was sort of
The
there was
pressure was
there was no intention of
I don't know
doing a
if
podcast at that point.
I think I don't know if I told you. Did I tell you? It was the first time I told you that one today.
No, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay,
Anyway,
so
this-
mate, why are people listening to this one?
So
What
this
are we doing in this
We're
one?
going to just round up England's games
In the
dur-
Tri
in
Series.
this They were knocked out this morning.
Lovely. That's a good roundup. Just a short podcast, this one then.
I'm going to look at England's 4 games.
You alright?
2 T20s versus Australia. And another 2 versus New Zealand. And we're going to go through them. We're not going to look at,
We're not going to go into major detail like we do usually. We're going to skim over and we're going to have a little chat.
Maybe look at some comments because we need to get them out.
Because we did
Get
that
them
last
done.
time, so they'll have stacked up, won't they?
Well, not really because we've been uploaded.
Right.
It's good to be back though, isn't it?
I mean, hopefully people get to listen to this.
Yeah.
But let's not be negative, eh? Right.
Well,
Australia versus England's the first one. On Wednesday, 7th of February, Seems like ages ago now.
It does, doesn't it?
In the past.
And Australia win by the 5 wickets.
5 wickets. Setting. We'll have a look at who won the toss.
Toss is important?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Just for this one, yeah? Because you said it. Australia won the toss, decided to field first.
Right.
Obviously.
Classic chase, isn't it?
So England... Sorry, there we go.
England set 155.
And David Milan starts off the Tri Series well. He's actually had a good Tri Series throughout. But England only mustering up 155 in their innings.
I'm pretty sure I remember saying in the podcast that no one listened to that this might be one of
England's worst ever T20 teams.
No. I was commenting on how badly they got out throughout the game.
I tell you what, do you know what happened in the last podcast one that didn't make it out? We had a massive argument about Crane, didn't we? At the end.
Oh yeah, we
went
did.
on for ages.
Yeah, that was a good.
Just
that was a good argument.
You said I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, because you don't. But
and you bought a PS4 today.
Yeah. Why are you bringing that up?
I just looked at it over there.
Right, I went to buy a PS4. Right, they're not that expensive anymore. Bit high, big roller.
Yeah.
But and they only had one. I'm not buying a brand new one. I'm not an idiot.
How much were the brand new ones?
I don't know. Didn't even look, mate. Didn't cross my mind. Wasn't interested. They only had one pre-owned one. It was white, and it just doesn't look that nice, does it?
I tell you what, it's white. It's because white gets dirty, doesn't it?
It gets grimy real easy, doesn't it?
But I don't know. Is that a better looking console than the Xbox?
I think so.
Anyway, cricket.
Do you want
to run through this team?
Well,
then?
I was saying that this, for the way we batted, there were so many people got out just really poorly.
So
just like little chips to cover or just half-arse shots that ended up getting caught, and it just like everybody.
Well, 155 isn't.
That's just nowhere near enough
these days, is it?
Nowhere near enough.
Especially when I don't know if you saw, but a couple of days ago, Australia chased down 240.
Right. I mean,
yeah. So it's like I think it was like 500 runs scored in 40 overs.
Yeah.
So 155 is just not good enough. With David Milan, the only real batsman to stick around, isn't
little
he?
50.
He got a 50.
I don't think we need to go into too much detail because no one's interested in this.
But what do you reckon about this as a T20 team? This lineup, if you like. I don't think it's particularly strong.
Well, to be honest, I think I might have said this before. You could pick them out of a hat, a 2020 team.
Yeah.
And it won't make much difference.
So, I just find it...
I'll tell you what, I think it's easy.
Odd.
I think it's easy to pick a very good 2020 team or one that has a chance of doing very well, and it's really easy to pick a terrible one.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? I don't think there's that much difference between a good and a brilliant 2020 team.
So where does this ranking between good and brilliant?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Is it good enough for England? Is it good enough?
I don't know what if there's anybody that would make a massive difference.
Joe Root?
It's 2020.
Johnny Bairstow?
Yeah.
Ben Stokes?
Ben Stokes for Jordan might not be bad.
Moeen Ali?
I don't know what would you want him for.
I just I don't know, in there for a laugh.
Good comment talking about cricket and putting people in for a laugh.
I think
people are looking for your insight, and that's a cracking bit. I think Moeen Ali gives you them there.
Bat and ball.
Or he doesn't give you either.
I think
he gives you a bit of nothing.
I think he's had a hard time.
Doesn't really give you much with a ball.
He's obviously been sent. I think he's been sent away, hasn't he?
You did say that you didn't want him playing in this
series. No,
it's
true. And I don't particularly want him in the IPL either. Nothing against him, and obviously would love for him to make as much money as he can, but I just do think he needs a bit of time away from cricket. Roy Hales, Milan Morgan, Butler, Billings, Willie, Jordan, Rash, Curran and Wood. I tell you what, that Billings one's a bit strange for me.
Well, he's a wickie, isn't he? He's a wickie.
That should be number 6.
What's bizarre is he's playing as a batsman, right?
And he's number 6.
And he's batting lower than the wiki.
I think that should be an all-rounder's spot, shouldn't it?
If there's 2 wikis in the team, one of them's a batsman, the wicket-keeper surely bats lower than the batsman.
Thing is, though, is Butler's a better batsman and, I don't know, probably a better keeper than Billings. Billings is just...
So you reckon he is just our next best batsman?
I'm surprised they didn't play Livingston. I don't know if he was in the team, but that would make a difference. But I think that Billings not having him there is a bit weird. Milan batting 3 as well.
I don't know if it makes too much difference in 2020s where you bat.
Do you think Billings in the team at all, though? Because we've got Willie, Jordan Rash, 7, 8, 9. There's plenty of batting in there.
That is a monster tail, isn't it?
Although, at the same time, can you get away with monster tails in T20?
No.
I know England would 9 down here, but...
No. 2020 is where you don't want a monster tail.
But then surely...
Because you're going to give wickets away.
It shouldn't go down... 20 overs, it shouldn't go down to...
Yeah, because you're going to go at a quick
8,
run
9,
rate.
10
You're going to give
jack.
away more chances.
I think...
Because
I think
your tail pretty much starts at 7 there.
Willie, yeah. Well, I think...
That's a massive tail.
I think we're missing an all-rounder or 2 there.
Willie, Jordan, Rashid, Kerr and Wood. I wouldn't count any of them as batsmen. Like Willie is on the... I cannot class him as a batsman.
No, but... Well,
I mean, that's just a massive tail.
Handy with a bat.
You get to prove it. So England set 155. That's not enough, is it? Should we move on to the Australian innings?
Well, what I was going to ask you was... Nice to see Roy and Hales back together again.
It is, but I don't take anything from it. I'd rather it be in an ODI to take something from it.
You're not necessarily a T20
I
fan,
just think it doesn't make too much difference what you do with your team setup in 2020. As long as you got enough bowlers
Well,
and you got enough batsmen.
What do you make of the bowling lineup?
It's okay.
Willie, Jordan, Rash, Kerr and
yeah.
Wood.
It's all right. I wouldn't use Jordan. He's just massively overrated to me.
Do you like Willie?
Not really. Do you?
I don't. To be honest with you, I don't mind that as a bowling lineup. I think maybe.
What about Willie? Do you like Willie?
I do. I love it.
Do you?
I love Willie.
Why?
I just think Willie offers something.
What's that?
Left arm.
You love left arm, don't you? Someone
arm.
could be terrible.
I like that.
I'll tell you what, we had that argument about Crane in the last one that no one will get to listen to that went on forever. If he was left arm, you'd love him. You'd love him if he was left arm.
Jordan, I think, is a T20 specialist, so I don't mind that.
No, he's not.
And Kerr and Wood. Actually, I probably would like 2 spinners, maybe. I think
a 2020. I'll tell you what a 2020 specialist means. If someone's a 2020 specialist,
What's that then?
That means they're massively erratic. That's what that means.
Massively erratic.
Yeah, it means they have a chance of doing well in a very short period of time, not very often. That's what that means. And I don't know if he's ever won a game for England by himself, which is how he's hyped.
Who's this?
Jordan.
Yeah, I think Jordan's all right.
Why?
Not necessarily, but I put Jordan next to...
Whenever I've seen him in highlights packages, he bowls like a 45-mile-an-hour ball that gets spanked for 4, and they're like, "Oh, brilliant variation."
I don't think there's much difference between Jordan and Curran.
Shut up.
I don't think, you
just don't know what you're looking at.
Do you want to look at this Australian team? Lots of names I don't particularly know in the first T20, but
are these 2 teams the same team through the Tri Series?
No.
Because I don't know if people want to know about the lineups.
Well, I think
the first game.
I think that they deserve to have our best.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're that interested.
Well, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to say it's nice to see Maxwell back in the team. Warner's the Capitano. And then they've got a lot of bowlers.
I'm sure you used to dislike Maxwell.
No. I'm a big Maxwell fan.
I don't think that's true.
And I like his mate.
Who's that?
The other T20 guy. The guy who's got 150 at T20. The other opener. Opened up in ODIs.
The one I like, who I thought should have got Player of the Series, and then he got dropped for the last ODI. The guy I thought should be playing Test matches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name. That's bad, isn't it? What is his name?
Not Travis Head.
No.
Lynch. No.
Finch.
Finch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it's weird that he's not in the 2022.
Oh,
isn't it?
he comes back in there.
Oh, yeah, nice, good. Right. So England didn't set enough, and Australia chased it pretty easy.
And had got it in the 19th over.
Yeah, they were fine.
They did it quite easily.
Yeah, they were fine.
I think move on to the next T20. So Australia win that one, win the first one by 5 wickets, win the second T20 by 7 wickets. Now England really didn't play too well here. They were.
Is there any changes?
They were put into bat first. England's team, James Vince comes in. So
and Liam Dawson.
There's no Owen Morgan. Owen Morgan out for the second T20. So Owen Morgan out, which brings James Vince in. Josh Butler takes the captaincy as well as the gloves. Liam Dawson comes in for the expense of Mark Wood.
Yes. Well, we know he can't play 2 games in a row.
So offers you another spinning option. Liam Dawson's an odd one for me.
I like Butler being captain.
I do as well. But Liam Dawson, is he there to offer you something with the bat as well as the ball more than anything? Because I
think he's a bit, for me, he seems like a bit of he's just a safe play. I don't really know if he's going to do anything
I think you're
too
right.
bad, but I don't think he's going to do anything too great for you either. I think he's quite safe to go with.
I don't mind Liam Dawson.
No.
But I think if you've got Curran in the team and he's been out here all this time, give him a go.
I don't want Dawson being on New Hope though.
I don't think he is.
No.
And I don't mind him being in and around the team as a T20 specialist. I don't mind
a squad
that.
player.
Yeah. I don't mind him in and around white ball cricket, but I just think, with Curran being out there the whole winter, why not just give him? And he played well against South Africa and whatnot. Took AB's wicket. Why not give him a go? Let's have a little look at the Australian team, see if it differs too much. Finch comes in, and that's quite a strong top 5, I think, with Lynn, Maxwell, Warner, Finch. I don't know much about Australian bowlers, but they certainly do the job for England's first.
England just got destroyed.
137 for 7 off their 20. Now,
Butler with a little bit of a captain's innings, trying to do something, but that is just a shockingly bad scorecard.
It's not enough, is it? I just think this team, without Root, Bairstow...
Why do you want Root? I don't know why you think Root's a good 2020 player.
I think it's better than having Vince in there, or Billings, or even Milan to an extent. I know Milan's had a good series, but I just think if you get rid of...
Milan's been playing well for quite a while now.
I think he has. I think if you get rid of the top 2, which are out-and-out T20 players, if you like, then
Vince is a weird one to me. I don't know why Vince is in there. I think he's replaceable, but I'd rather have Bairstow replacing Vince than Root.
Yeah.
And I don't think Root replaces Milan. He's in too good a form.
Well, then
and he's been playing well for a long time.
Root should surely get in front of Billings.
What, to bat at 6?
No, but like
2020.
Interchange. Listen, I don't think Milan should bat 3. I'd rather have Bairstow bat 3.
I don't see a place for Joe Root in 2020 cricket.
Well, that's fair enough then, but I don't...
If he was going to play, the only way I would see him fitting into it is opening.
Joe
and
Root?
him, try and bat the 20 overs as an anchor.
Yeah,
and maybe
style.
Yeah, and just swap the strikes, singles and 2s and stuff. And then so people can play around him. That is the only role I could see. If he's coming in at 4 or lower, then that's just pointless to me. But he's not in the team anyway, so it's no worry.
Well,
that's a bad performance, though, isn't it? By England batsmen.
Strange thing is, England don't win a game in this Tri Series, right?
Yeah.
And the first 2 games, they're not even close.
Do you take anything from it, though? Do you go, England are in bad form here?
Tell you what we did talk about in the the podcast before the podcast that never made it out,
Yeah.
was
That podcast.
the Downward
Yeah,
podcast.
right.
That the fact that I think personally there's been a big scheduling issue with this series.
The Tri Series.
With the Tri Series.
Right.
And I said, it's fine giving the Tri Series as the pudding, the end of a series.
Yeah.
But you can't have ODIs and then T20s because I think it loses relevance. Your ODIs should be your
I think it's
starter.
It's like a tweener
It's a tweener, do you think?
between two series, isn't it? It's like linking. We have to link the Australian series into the New Zealand series.
And I think
why? Why can't they be two? Why can't we finish one tour and start another one?
I think that's because I don't know. It's the scheduling, isn't it? They're rushing through that. They're trying to.
It's no wonder we can't do the.
Well,
podcasts.
I said that they tried to add relevance to Australia versus England T20s by adding in New Zealand.
I don't get that.
Because listen, I don't think we were interested, let alone.
I don't think anybody takes 2020 cricket seriously, so they don't care where they schedule it.
No?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I think it's just a money maker.
I'm a big cricket fan, right?
And they know they're going to bring crowds in. But no, the ECB, whatever the Australian Cricket Board is and all, they don't care about how if their form is in 2020 cricket.
I've just watched England play Australia 10 times in a matter of 10 weeks.
The only time, this is the only 2020 game that international teams care about, is the 2020 World Cup final. If you make it to the final, then you'd like to win it.
What would you say that is it because there's too much white ball cricket? Would you say 3 ODIs and 3 T20s kind of thing?
I don't think 2020. I think is like the result. It's such a short amount of time. You can get the results are just so hard.
Trevor Bayliss came out and said that
for there to be much difference.
Trevor Bayliss came out today and said that T20 cricket should be abandoned and only franchise T20 cricket played until about 6 months before a major tournament. Then England should play, or international teams should play T20 cricket. So he's saying that your international players should be able to go out and play franchise cricket, earn the money.
Right.
International teams stop playing T20 until about 6 months before a T20 World Cup, where they kind of like get together and start playing it in like a training,
like England football.
Oh, almost like England football.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not a bad idea.
I just don't. I know England get battered in all the games and whatnot, but I just still don't think I cared.
I wouldn't mind series being just ODIs and Test matches. But I think it's just the money is to be made in the 2020s, so they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But like you said, I prefer it to be at the start of a series.
The T20s?
Yeah.
No, I don't mind the T20s being the pudding. I think having ODIs and T20s next to each other isn't necessarily a good idea.
Okay. Oh, well, all right. So you're thinking use the ODIs as a build-up to see who's in form for the Test matches and see if we get some sort of idea of what's going to happen.
Just like 05.
Then the important Test matches.
That's your main course.
And then you're sort of like, nearly full with this. And then you're like, let's have a smack to finish
a bit of a hit
it.
and a giggle.
Yeah, I get that. I'd agree with that. Do you think there's a reason as to why they can't just have that every time? With like stadiums and stuff.
Is there like pitch preparation?
I don't know. You'd think, though, because they know so far in advance, don't they, for these tours, that they decide, really.
Yeah, well,
You'd think.
Thing is, I don't really know. I think scheduling generally in tours is terrible. I just think if you look at warm-up games and games in between and...
I don't think warm-up games can be scheduled badly, can they?
Well, if you only have 2...
You have them before.
But if you only have 2 and it's against really terrible opposition as a touring team, that's not good enough.
Bit of confidence, isn't it? Unless you get battered, then that's really destroying you.
I think...
Is it because we were playing pub teams before the Ashes?
Yes. It doesn't, Shortland, Maxwell, Finch all make starts. Australia breeze with a 7 wicket win.
again, they're just not needed to do anything, are they?
They would have gone on and got a score way past 200
Yeah.
if they would have kept them going like in the vein they were going. England couldn't do anything to restrict them.
That's about as battered as you get in a 2020 game, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is the point now where England have gone 2-0 down, if you like, in a Tri Series. They're gonna have to beat New Zealand, and probably have to beat them twice to be sure of getting in. But they needed a win in the next game, which happened on the 13th, and New Zealand win by 12 runs. So England now go to New Zealand for this.
Bit of a cracker, this one.
We've left Australia.
Yeah.
We've moved over to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And it's also moved from BT Sport to Sky Sport at this point.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
England win the toss and choose the field first. They put in New Zealand. And
Which is
Guptill.
expected.
I think Guptill,
I like Guptill.
I think he's scored the most T20 runs.
I like him. I like him in all
Ever.
formats.
He's kind of like the unsung hero of T20s.
I think he's really good. I think he's good in all formats. I don't know if he still makes it as the opener in all formats. But I rate Guptill.
Should we have a little look at... Sorry.
The England team.
Plunkett comes in.
Yeah.
For...
Woods
Curran.
back in.
Woods in for Dawson. Vince keeps his spot. There's no Morgan in this team. And the team pretty much stays the same.
Yeah.
With Josh Butler keeping and captain.
I was in the podcast that no one will ever listen to.
Yeah.
I was saying that I think Owen Morgan needs to be dropped.
Is this a drop or is this a...
Yes.
No, it's not a drop.
It is.
He's
been in such bad form for so long.
I mean, like...
This is what he does. He doesn't do anything, and then he plays white ball cricket for England. If he's not playing in the Tri Series, then they really don't care.
You know he hasn't even got a proper...
They've dropped him.
He hasn't got a proper 4-day contract for Middlesex, Morgan. He doesn't have a proper one. He doesn't have a proper contract.
What does that even mean?
Like, he doesn't, play outright 4-day cricket for Middlesex. That's Owen Morgan. That's the captain of England. And a captain of England, right, doesn't play.
He's been in bad form for a long time now.
But he doesn't play 4-day cricket at all. He'll play like odds and sods.
Yeah. He's not very good. That's why they dropped him.
What I'm saying is, let's say England don't play any games in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Owen Morgan still wouldn't play 4-day cricket for his county match.
He doesn't care.
That baffles me.
It is bizarre. That is strange that he's not playing any sort of long format of cricket at all. But whatever.
Should we look? New Zealand 196 for 5. A good knock. Kane Williamson.
That is a good knock. That's competitive.
Yeah,
196.
that's a good score. That's a test. That's a challenging score, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good score.
But it's not a score which you would automatically assure a win.
Oh
for
no,
New Zealand,
you wouldn't. Either side. New Zealand aren't going, we've won it, and England aren't saying we're out of it.
New Zealand are probably 15 runs above par, but you're still thinking...
Anywhere near 200
is
good on any 2020 game.
Kane Williamson, 72. Now, we spoke about Root not being able to do a job, but Kane Williamson and Root, I think they bat in a similar vein.
Right, but Kane Williamson's better, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah. Who would you rather have?
I'd like both of them.
Right.
In a
that
test
wasn't
squad.
the question, though, was it?
Okay, all right, but what I'm saying is, do you not think that
So you're admitting you'd rather have Kane Williamson?
I think I'd rather have Root.
No, you wouldn't.
What I'm saying is, Root and Williamson could do a similar job.
I think Kane Williamson's better.
Okay, but do you not think they could do a similar job?
Probably, but I think Kane's going to do it better.
Okay, so...
Well, that's like me and Boycott could do a similar job, but he's probably going to do it better, isn't he?
Yeah, well, there's a difference in that. Two big scores move Australia to 196.
Do you want to just check?
Yeah, I've checked. You're fine.
Is it? Because it's wobbling all over the place.
No, we're still going.
Okay, good.
The bowlers, there's nothing to write home about. Wood picks up 2 but gets absolutely spanked. Let's move on to England's batting in the third T20. Hale's 47, Milan 59, another 50 for Milan. He's
in some really good form at the
in
moment.
3 games. And
Vincey running himself out.
you are right, Owen. I said the tail. Look, Willie has to bat again. Willie's had to bat in all of the games so far. So is Jordan. And they're not particularly 21 from Willie's not bad, but
it's a big tail.
Run through Vince, Butler goes quickly, Billings goes quickly, and then you're straight into Willie. It is a long tail. They do have to bat.
It's a big, big tail. I'll tell you what, if you're going to have that sort of tail, although I like that kind of, you need another batsman. Like I don't like rather than having Billings, who's
this is
kind of bodging a spot, then I would prefer to have Joe Root in there. If you're going to try and actually build a 2020 team.
Do you know what I think? Why can't Johnny Bairstow bat 4? I know he's maybe given time off or what. But what I'm saying is Johnny Bairstow 4 and Vince 6. No?
And then you get rid of Jordan.
No, what I'm saying is you take Billings out.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I think you could take one of those bowlers out and put an all-rounder in there, whether that's Moeen Ali or...
I think they count Willie
Stokes.
and Jordan as all-rounders.
Probably Plunkett this way, and Rashid. Probably think they're all all-rounders. But England just...
I think if you're a bowler and they don't count you as an all-rounder, you're awful at batting. It's like a proper insult to how bad you are at batting if England don't count you as an all-rounder.
I think England... during this innings, just lost wickets.
I don't think the all-rounders we've got, for any of the nations we like to say we're level with, would count them as all-rounders. Any of the other nations we play.
What, Ben Stokes?
Right, but he's right, the exception.
What, we've only got 2 all-rounders, haven't we?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. England count loads of players as all-rounders that no other nation. You're telling me they don't count Willie as an all-rounder?
No,
they definitely do.
They don't.
They definitely do. They definitely count him as an all-rounder.
No.
Yeah, you're saying that, but you just know that's true. So you just...
know.
Yeah, they do. They do count him as
He's
an all-rounder.
He's a bowler that can bat a little bit.
He's an all-rounder. No, he's not. That's my point.
Anyway.
It's a good chase, isn't it?
England,
we've made a mess of it.
But we just lose... You're right. That tail does mean in those situations you lose
just crumpled,
wickets, and there's a good chance, because Willie can't do that on his own, can he? Jordan and Plunkett get out cheaply. Rashid and Wood are just there trying their best, and Rashid can't hit it over the bloody infield, let alone hit it to the boundary. I like Rashid, but
I think Rashid's got a better chance in the longer format at batting well. He seems like he might be able to...
he's a nudger, isn't he?
Yeah, he might be able to do something in the longer format. But I don't want him going in trying to blast 50 runs at the end of a 2020 game. Plunkett's my man for that.
Oh, England actually won this morning, Aaron.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. By 2 runs. That is a monster game.
I thought we lost by 4 wickets.
So, who batted first?
Shall we have a look at the teams? New Zealand win the toss and decide to field first.
Oh, they put Morgs back in.
So when Morgan comes back into a winning team with
a losing team,
England win.
No, I know, but he didn't come back into a winning team.
Well, he made them win.
But coming into a winning team means they're winning, and he's come in.
Okay. Touché. So out goes James Vince. In comes O'Morgan. Morgan.
It is funny, isn't it? There's no maths to this at all. There's no figuring it out. They have a look and they go, who do we want to watch tonight? And they put him in the team.
Morgan takes back the captaincy.
Yeah.
And the bowling looks pretty similar. No Plunkett.
Put Dawson in there just for a ruffle.
Tom Curran comes in for Plunkett and Dawson keeps his place. I've already said it once, but New Zealand win the toss and decide to field first. So England are put in. And Milan makes his third 50 in the 4 games. He showed himself as a nice little neat T20 player, isn't he?
He's shown himself as an all-round really good cricket or all-round really good batsman. He's done well in the Test matches. He's done all right in the ODIs, and he's doing well in the 2020s. That's impressive.
I think
that's impressive to be able to change up your game like that.
And I think this is slightly off topic, but for the sake of this podcast, maybe to hone in on this game, seeing it's the most recent.
Right. Good
so
one.
give this one
Yeah.
I mean, like, give this one a proper review.
Right.
How does that sound?
I'll tell you what, mate. Are we going to squeeze in the comments at the end of
We
this
certainly are.
Right. So, yeah.
Roy and Hells don't make too many runs during this series. Anything to worry about?
That's 2020, isn't it?
Roy and Hells didn't make that many series. Okay, Roy made that big score, but Roy and Hells didn't make those many runs in the ODIs either. Apart from Roy's massive.
Who do you want there? I don't know how many options we've got, really.
Well, people are talking about Johnny Best, aren't they? I don't think it is. I just think it would be nice if they were scoring runs. I know it sounds
You're
obvious.
not wrong, mate. You're not wrong.
But I think they're a big part of England doing well in T20s.
I think when they fire, England's team is much more formidable because they're both very good.
Yeah.
They can be very destructive.
I think it only needs one of them to fire. If they both go out early, England are kind of exposed, I think.
Yeah, and you're into the tail real quick if neither of them do anything.
And I think I know I've mentioned his name a lot and you don't rate him in T20s, but without Joe Root, without Johnny Bairstow or Ben Stokes, I think those two should be. Butler's there, I know, but he hasn't had a very good series either. And Butler's probably, a couple of years ago was the best T20 player in the world. But I think without Roy and Hales firing, England don't do well at T20s. I know they won today, and they got a big score today. But
England, not them.
Yeah, but that's down to Milan making 53 and Morgan actually coming back to some sort of T20 form.
80 not out.
What does that do to Morgan then, Owen?
Oh, it'll keep him around for another 5 years, I think.
Is that enough? Should that be enough to keep him around?
For me?
Yeah.
No.
What does he have to do for you?
I would drop him for a period of time.
Okay, well, let's say they're not going to drop him. What does he have to do in the next limited? Like,
he has to show some sort of form. If he comes in the next, I tell you what, he gets 80 not out. England win a game after a long streak of losing. You can't really drop him now when you bring him back in after him being dropped for a couple of games. So you have to play him in the next one. But if he goes and gets under 10 again, you've got to drop him for a period of time and just say he needs to go and prove himself in 2020 cricket before he gets picked again.
I don't know. I wonder if England. I don't even know if England.
Or an injury to a batsman before he gets picked again.
I might,
because one innings you can't forget about everything after one innings, can you? That's just silly.
I don't even know if England have been knocked out. I honestly did not think England won today. That's when we're talking.
You did actually state that
England
have not won anything yet in this series.
Have been knocked out. England win, but okay, yeah, they have been knocked out. Oh, thank God for that. I feel better about myself now.
Right.
And then Butler no runs, Billings no runs. Billings hasn't showed himself in any great light during the series.
He's had one innings, isn't he? He had one innings.
What was that, 30 or something?
It's nothing.
Do you keep with him? Is he
in
a fringe
2020,
player?
he's not going anywhere though, is he?
But he's a fringe player, isn't he?
Yeah.
In and around the team.
Yeah.
And that's about that. England make 194 for 7 batting first. They have ran through in all the games. Ran through the England batting lineup. There's no one, Morgan makes a big 80 not out today, but that's the only big score. We've seen 350s from Milan, but apart from that, not a lot of resilience from the English batsmen.
No, and you're not getting like a good lot of 20s either. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can rack up a real big score and people are going in, getting 20, getting out, going in, getting a 27, getting out.
Yeah.
That can add up. But we're getting an 80, a 50, then 10, 10, none, 7, none. It's like, that just stops you from getting something monstrous.
Well,
looking at the New Zealand batting, they should have won that game.
Well, they get themselves 78 without loss in the 7th over, batting really strong, looking good, and they lose the first wicket of Monroe. Then Williamson goes, but
you should not be chasing 194, end up on 192 for 4 and having lost in a 2020.
Especially being close to 100 in the first 10 overs.
But
up there with the run rate almost throughout.
You should not. You should not have only lost 4 wickets and only lose by 2 runs in a 2020 game.
Look, the pace bowlers get smashed, don't they? Willie goes for 11s. Tom Curran for 10.5. Jordan 10.5. But there, Rashid 1 for 22 off 4. Dawson 1 for 27 off 4. And Milan, although expensive, gets 1 for 27 off 2. So the three spinners, the two out and out spinners of Rashid and Dawson, do really well going at 5.5 and 6 and 3/4.
Something about the pitch, do you think?
Yeah, potentially. I just think
I just can't. I think that you've got to be going hard, taking more risks.
Well, they've lost
when you're in such a good position and you've missed out by 2 runs.
They've lost by 2 wickets. I think, they were going in
2 runs.
2 runs, sorry. They were going in and around 10 runs and over. They couldn't get over the line in the end. It's England with the spinning bowlers, they keep their bottle. And that's good to see from Rashid. Because, Rashid Dawson, you wouldn't necessarily say they're going to put their hand up and stop a team from scoring big runs when they're on a bit of a...
I just think it's sort of a bit reserved from New Zealand. Just looking at the score, if you look at 192 for 4 and 194 for 7,
you're
going, they've missed out by 2 runs and they only had 4 wickets down. Like, why aren't they, when they get into the point of like, we're in with a chip, why aren't they going at it?
Well, I think you've got to...
With 5 overs to go, we've got so many wickets in hand. Why are we leaving it to the last ball to try and do it?
I think you've got to... Hats off to the England spinners.
We've done well, but that scorecard just thinks that they've got in the perfect position to do it.
I think...
And it just... they should have done it from there.
I think picking up the wickets of Guptill and Munro, obviously, if they would have stayed in, they would have won just because they were on fire. And Williamson didn't fire today.
Milan getting Guptill. The
Decent.
boy.
Bowling him. Straight through the gate.
Is it fair to say when he got picked, it was like the biggest surprise of who the hell is he?
Who's this David Milan?
Yeah, why has he been picked to play for England?
Well, he got picked first in the T20s, didn't he? I think he made a score. He made an 80.
Did he?
Yeah, I remember him making an 80 in the T20s, and he was batting like 5, I think.
Didn't they pick him in the... I think he made his debut in Test match cricket.
No, he made his debut in T20 cricket, right? And everyone was just like, why is this guy in a Test side? Because he's made 180. Basically, like what I was saying about Crane, saying he's taken 1 wicket in T20s. Milan did exactly the same. Made 1 score of 80 in a T20 match. Then got pushed into the Test side. And has done, to be honest with you, was one of, if not
very, very well,
if not the best English batsman during the winter, right?
Yeah, done very well.
England are knocked out, and it will be Australia versus New Zealand final. Bothered?
No biggie.
Not bothered.
Not particularly.
Want to look at comments?
Yeah. Interesting, but it's sort of too surrounded by everything. It's oversaturated, I think.
I just think T20, for me personally, I imagine for some people it's the greatest thing on the planet.
I just think for entertainment, as in for just general people, that's what draws people.
I've watched so much cricket over this winter. I'm not bothered about watching baseball.
No, I don't know if I could be oversaturated with Test match cricket.
No, you can't be. It's impossible. But I don't I've watched so much cricket. I don't want to watch a bit of shits and giggles. It's just we've just ticked over 19,000 views.
Especially when it's not. Oh, nice. Especially when it's not really related to anything.
Yeah.
Because a Tri Series, don't even know what that is.
Don't know, don't care either.
Right, come on. We need to be. Let's get into some comments.
Right.
We need to pay them back because we've been neglecting them.
Did we? Was it? We might be repeating comments here.
Well, I'll know if we are.
Was the impression Bane? Did we do that
Oh,
last
yeah.
time?
Well, yeah, it was.
No, but did we do that one last time?
I think so.
Do you guys get high before the podcast?
No.
Oh no! What I'm asking is, have we?
No, I know what you're asking, and I think we did do that in the last one, but no one got to hear the last one.
Are you sure?
We didn't do comments.
Are you sure it didn't start off with met Stoinis at the airport? I think it was that one. That one was the first one. I thought thought I was listening to a Jamie Oliver podcast because we said, the last one ended like that. The foodie one.
Okay.
I think we start off with
right. Someone
LeQuinn.
met Stone.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Right. Someone met the Stun.
Not Stoneman, Stoinis.
Stunner.
Met Stoinis. LeQuinn obviously won our fantasy ICC champions. Obviously, yeah, I said that. Like it's common knowledge. He wears a crown.
Right.
Won our ICC Champions Trophy Fantasy League.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't do very well on that, did you?
Listen, it was my own fault. I didn't put the time in. You don't put the time in, you don't get.
No, that's true.
You don't get things out of it, do you?
At the airport. So met Stoinis at the airport in Delhi a couple of months ago. An absolute gent. Totally the opposite of a twat.
Yeah, we were ripping hard. It's just his aura when he's batting. It's all everything about him. He looks like a bit of a knob.
Had a decent conversation with him. Quite a humble fella.
We do have to judge on a few bits of footage on the telly, though. That's what we're going.
Maybe we shouldn't judge.
Well, that's kind of your thing, is doing a podcast and having an opinion. You kind of do.
Yeah, but should we judge people on looks?
Well, no. Well, I was judging him on the way he was batting and how. Yeah.
I was judging him on how he looked.
Oh.
I think we both
made
a reference to him being at school being a bit of a knobhead.
Yeah, he was chewing gum and he's like a big lad, like walking around like he owns it. That's a dickhead aura.
That's making a judgment on looks, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Maybe this is another vital lesson we've learned.
Big lad smashing it around chewing gum with his head up, then yeah, you do.
An absolute gent.
Well, I'm sure he's a nice bloke. Maybe, he's doing the Viv.
Dion Parkhill, I think first time commenting.
Yeah.
If wickets should be listed after runs, then why is a 5-wicket haul called a fifer and not a 4-5? We had a big conversation.
I don't really get that.
Yeah, you said that last time. I explained it to you. What are you saying?
But you've taken 5 wickets, so it's a fifer. You don't state how many runs.
Well, then why should
you'd be like, I took a 24er. It would change every time. No one would know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but you say I took a 6-for, don't you?
Right.
I took 3-for. You always say it.
No, what? No,
it's a considerable amount of wickets.
I never say I've taken a 4-for.
No, okay. But you say, I took 3 for 72.
Right.
You never says, I conceded 72 runs for 33 wickets, do you?
No, I just state how many wickets I took if I'm bowling.
Yeah, so he's saying that it's called a fifer because, or whatever, you take the run. You always take the wickets first when talking about bowling. And he's saying that we
that's
should.
The important bit when you're bowling, isn't it?
And then he's saying that that's why it should be taken through to the team scores as well. So 5 wickets down for 172.
I get your point, but it's incorrect.
It's definitely 172 for 5, isn't it?
Yeah, listen.
The team have made that many runs and lost this amount of wickets. Surely.
Exactly.
The runs are more important for the team, not because the bowler is just the individual, isn't it?
You're right, mate.
Me or him?
You.
Still, you're
correct.
Me?
Yes, you. I'm looking at you.
So Dion Parker, obviously an Aussie.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it does matter.
Does it?
Yeah, it does to me.
Yeah, I don't really like it either. I don't really care. Nice to have you commenting though. I always
no.
And I will certainly call a 5 for a 5 for, not a 4-5. So he's got a point there.
I don't get the 4-5.
So he's saying 172 for 5. Like he's saying, would you say instead of saying he got 5 for 92? Would you say he's got conceded 92 for 5? So he's saying 4-5.
You're just saying I got a fifer.
Yeah, but he's saying it is called a fifer, not a 4-5.
You never state the runs before or after. But you're just stating the wickets.
With a team score, you always state the runs first.
But the runs have never been stated when someone claims a fifer. So why would you suddenly bring the runs into it?
I think, that
just seems bizarre to me.
Do you remember the last
like
person
you don't go,
I
got 100. But how many wickets were down when you got the 100? Sorry? That's irrelevant.
Right. The Slips changed his name for a while.
Yeah, changed it back. Well, you were slating him, weren't you?
What?
Not that you ever heard it.
I've been
really
bitching about it. It's a Manchester City one. Oh no,
right, go on.
I'm glad it's come back. I'll subscribe again. Keep going, boys. I need to check if the microphone's right. No. Keep going, boys. Enjoy your chemistry. Every episode is a good listen.
There you are.
That's when we do upload, though, eh? Have you thought about doing a live video podcast?
Yes.
Get a camera in front of you whilst
No.
recording? Would be a good chance for viewers to connect with you a bit more.
The only way we would do it, we were thinking about, it would have to be a 2020.
Or the first day of the Ashes.
So yeah, something like that. And
Or
I
like a
don't.
final of some
If
sort,
we were
right?
going to do a camera, it's going to be one camera.
I don't want to do
And
a
I
camera.
don't really want to do a camera.
I don't. I just think that time has got. I don't mind making short.
I wouldn't mind
films.
doing some video stuff for the channel.
Yeah, I'd love
But
to.
I don't
video.
really want to film a podcast.
I don't know if I want to. It sounds strange, but I don't know if I necessarily want to film myself either anymore. I did at one point. I was like, oh yeah, we should definitely film. That would definitely be a way to
What are
Like-
you thinking then for video stuff?
to make. I don't know. I don't really want to give it away.
Oh, okay, but you got some ideas, have you?
Not really. Well, to make during the summer there will be opportunity to make films, won't there? Small,
Yes.
short films regarding the game of cricket.
Right.
And then we get the opportunity for us to go to games, for
Yeah.
us to have the daylight to do things,
Yeah.
whether that's with a bat or a ball ourselves, or whether that's at a game, or whether that's a vlog type thing, or whether that's
But that would involve filming you.
a short film. But we could make short films without us ever being in the films, couldn't we?
Yes. I don't want to film a podcast. I do think doing a live thing would be interesting. My only problem is people aren't getting the time right because we have listeners all over the world. We're an international podcast.
Yeah.
The timing, we don't even have that many subscribers anyway.
That's just 38.
Right. So the likelihood of anyone actually tuning in is little. Is anyone going to listen to it if it's like 4 hours? We do a 4-hour live thing and then upload that as a podcast.
Well, I
Are
think
people going to listen to that as us just...
I would.
maybe they will. Maybe people like it.
I would love to do a live commentary. But I think we'd take it down afterwards.
Oh, so it would just be... But
So it's
no
like the
one's
radio.
going to hear it.
It's like thing is,
I think maybe... How about this? If we did one, you do a 4-hour one, it's going to be a 2020. Do a 4-hour one.
Yeah. Leave it up for a day.
And then just leave it up for a while.
and take it
See
down.
how it goes.
But the thing is, though,
To be fair, if we put it up, you may as well leave it. There's no need to take it down.
I
See
would.
if anyone listens.
But then it
to
kind of gets away from the liveness about it, doesn't it? Like a podcast is a podcast, and these podcasts they do have a life because it's a sports podcast that has a life of only a couple of weeks,
Right.
Because it's recent
But
events.
if we're doing a 4-hour podcast, we're not going to just be talking about the cricket.
Who's going
is
to
it?
listen to the 4 hours? 138. I don't mind doing the live one, but I think it stays live and that's it. I think if you've missed out, you've missed out.
No one's going to listen to that. It would have to be put up
But
to
then,
see if anyone would listen.
what
to
about
it.
the idea that with it going live on YouTube or whatever, people are searching for content there and then? Like maybe they're searching for streams, and we start getting there's an opportunity for a big influx of new listeners because we're going live for 4 hours. Do you know what I mean? Like we're present for 4 hours during the
As
game.
in, like some commentary you could get a hold of.
Yeah, and it's a live thing, so people might think it's like we're clickbaiting people in, but not
You wouldn't,
intentionally.
because we could just do live commentary.
Yeah. And people
Yeah.
will see the live and
Okay.
think potentially, oh, is it, a Periscope, a stream or whatever. And you could have a big influx of new listeners. Maybe pick up some...
Oh, yeah, we
New
could say,
subscribers.
we could set a 2020 game and go, this 2020 game, we're going to be doing a live.
I would love to do a live. I think it would have to be a game of
Alright,
relevance,
That's
though.
not a bad idea.
I don't know if I want... We got the summer. We'll have time off during the summer. And let's be honest, most of our listeners are British, so those weekends might be the easiest time
Yeah.
for getting an audience from our point of view. We'll definitely look at that. Shall I continue with the comment?
Yes.
So Slips continues with saying, get some live comments, questions going with subscribers during the live.
We'd have to
That'd
let
be
people
nice.
know well in advance when we were going to do
Well,
it, what game
just-
it would be.
I'll tell you
Because then people can just look at the game. They know when we're going to be going live.
I'll tell you what they could do. You just hit the bell on the YouTube thing, and you'll get a notification when we do anything.
When it goes live, but if they're already in bed, it's kind of pointless.
Make sure you don't ever put your phone on silent.
But if we just tell them the game, then they can look up when the time is, and then listen.
And obviously hit the bell, obviously.
Well, you've done that already anyway.
Would you? No, let's not get into that.
Come on then.
Perhaps get a new voice guest in occasionally to spice things up.
Difficult.
If it's a YouTuber guest, they can bring some of their subscribers across to you.
And maybe a microphone.
Just a few ideas that might help speed up your dreams coming true. Keep up the good work. What do you reckon about a guest?
I just don't know who we would possibly get as a guest.
Just a third member.
No, we're not having a
permanent member.
No, we're not having a third member to the podcast. But we could do. Just that's really quite difficult. And we don't have the equipment.
Yeah, I think there's a problem is we made the podcast for me and Owen.
Yeah.
But then we didn't think we would ever have a following of anything, let alone...
We didn't think we'd get a subscriber.
138. So the podcast isn't really ours as much as what we thought it first would be. It's more, we're sharing it now with a community.
Small group of people.
A small fan base, if you like, a subscriber base. So it's less hours than we originally thought it was going to be. I think the problem is Skype's difficult because
it's rubbish, isn't it? Let's be honest.
If we were to put out a lot of content using Skype, I think the quality dips.
Yeah, it's not as good.
And I think it's a shame because actually, when I listen to Skype podcasts, I generally fast forward or tap out.
And
kind of thing.
The other thing is it going to have to be someone that people are interested in? They're not just going to want a mate coming in.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That's just someone else who they know less about.
It's strange, isn't it? Because we actually spoke about this, didn't we, at one point? We spoke about having guests on privately, not on the podcast. And, I listen to a podcast and they sell themselves a lot more than we do, and they're an English-based group of lads that do it. And they go out and meet players and things like that. And they're just fans. But that's never really appealed to me that much.
Why not?
I just it's like going out and meeting such and such from
Brett.
such and such county and just talking horseshit.
Brett D'Oliveira. We went to college with him, mate. That's a way in.
Yeah, if going to our local county club or going to I don't know, Warwickshire or Gloucestershire or any of those local ones and having a chat with someone.
My mate got him out.
Well,
no word of a lie.
Do you
want him on? That's his claim to fame. You got Brett D'Oliveira out.
Do you remember
the guy
that lad
scored 100 for Worcester?
A lad that got Hasid Hamid out. One of our subscribers, did, didn't he? Decent.
There you go.
I'm not that interested.
It's just really hard. It's really hard. One, because we'd have to get another microphone, and then that would cause arguments because we'd both want that one once they'd been on. And then the other thing is we don't really have anyone, but it's a good idea.
But
All good ideas.
I did think about maybe. Oh, we spoke about this last time, and you were quite surprised. It didn't go live, but you were quite surprised about what I'm about to say.
Right.
Was a 100-episode special
of
getting in contact with our subscribers.
Oh, right, having that, yeah.
So having
again, that would be you were thinking of doing it over a period of time,
of
collecting together
weeks,
a few interviews, and
then
sort of
conversations,
putting it into one podcast.
Bringing, we would have to go away and find some topics. And
why I was off the idea is I thought it would be a live one.
Yeah, no, not live. Just like radio phoning in.
Yeah, I would I don't mind maybe getting contact and cutting together.
Yeah,
some conversations might not be too bad.
Well, let us know if you.
Although it also could go terrible and we just put people off and they stop subscribing.
Well, it's only one episode, isn't it?
Yeah, but it takes us a few goes to get through one of these.
And
when but when people start contacting us, I don't want us to rip them and then them get upset.
Yeah, what like you did yesterday,
and then it start. No,
yeah,
not like that. I never had a go at him.
I've seen him on the cricket YouTube stuff. Honestly, it's like looking at an ex-girlfriend.
I never had a go at him.
There's a new.
I don't even think he stopped subscribing.
There's a new cricket podcast out there, right? And I had a look at it. It's all right. And
Why are you looking at it?
just so see what the competition's like.
All right.
I think he commented on it, and I'm just like, hello.
What was his comment?
I can't remember, but it was like
Stat.
See?
What?
You can't have
Was it a stat?
No, it was an opinion.
Oh,
I miss SJ.
I never had a go. I don't understand your point.
You said that. Okay, well, let's not get into this.
Okay.
Just on the off chance.
Should we get through it? It's been a long podcast, this.
If you are interested in the 100 getting in contact, let us know.
That's quite a good idea.
That might be a nice idea. Thanks to Slips for your comment. Ben Perkins. Don't think we've heard from Ben before. Keep up the good work, lads. Great cricket podcast, even if you aren't Australian.
That's nice, I suppose. Take that. We're certainly not Australian, which is good.
And obviously, great to see a new subscriber, even if a non-English subscriber, British subscriber, if you like. And welcome aboard. Gnat or Nat27. Sorry if I've got that wrong. Can you do podcasts on a more global cricket, not just England games?
I think that's rainy day, isn't it?
For example, the up-and-coming South Africa versus Australia Test Series. And would rather you focus solely on international Test matches and scrap talking about ODI cricket?
I'll tell you what might not be a bad idea that I've just had is I would quite like us to do our regular uploads for Test matches.
In England format?
Yeah, so England, we regularly upload when England play a Test match.
Yeah.
Carry on the ODIs, regularly uploading.
Yeah.
And then summing up 2020 series.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
So we do one to cover a 2020 series.
I think it
and then we
depends
could
on
do rainy day podcasts on the Sunday, even if the 2020 series is going on.
I think Nat 27, if you stay tuned for the Sunday show, I think we need to get back into a swing of getting them Sunday ones out.
That shows how much cricket has been going on.
Yeah.
Is we haven't done a rainy day podcast
because I think if we do try our best. I know it hasn't been great in the last this winter, but we do try our best to cover all the England games. I do think we need to get back to getting those Sunday episodes out each Sunday, and whether that is us talking about an international game which doesn't involve England, or whether that talks us about international teams that aren't England, those Sunday episodes, those rainy day episodes will be the best opportunity to hear non-English based cricket podcast shows, isn't it?
Yeah.
So stay tuned for every Sunday where if there isn't a game going on or whatever, we will be bringing out another episode.
Yes.
Nice to have you on board, Nat. I think that's the first comment from you as well. Ben Perkins back on Crane. This is where we argue.
Yeah.
One, he was a fat guy who took one for 150 in his first test.
Why so much emphasis on fat? Well, you said it then.
Do you know what?
I know you don't like it.
I really enjoyed reading recently. I mean like reading out loud.
Right.
But like,
it's good, isn't it?
It makes you feel like quite powerful.
I'll tell you what I noticed the other day is I've never really understood when people say, "Oh, it's badly written." But I read a book the other day and it was terribly written. Like, it's actually hard to read. Do you know what I mean?
I tell you what, sometimes some of the comments they don't read like that.
Are actually hard to read. It's bizarre though, isn't
it's
it?
Just
it's not like they don't write English.
Well, it's weird on a book. It's just
really hard to
comments are like conversational English, so I don't mind that. But with a book, that's a bit weird.
Anyway, go on then. What's the comment? It's on Crane. What are you doing?
Young leggies can get belted, and dropping a wrist spinner can destroy their confidence. Once the confidence is gone, just hitting the pitch can get tough. I think England need to stick with Crane a bit more, just to keep his confidence up so he can maybe develop long-term, if nothing else.
I don't know if dropping them destroys their confidence.
Or getting smashed us.
Yeah, I think keeping them in a team when they're not ready would destroy your confidence.
It's difficult not to talk about, tread on old ground, but I listened to a podcast, I think it was TMS podcast, that was speaking to Ashley Giles, who said England have the tendency to bury young players.
Right.
Like a young player will go out and play, and that young player could
Can you give an example?
successful. Well,
Can't really think of any.
Graham Swan, for an example.
Okay.
He did terrible the first time round, but obviously
bury him, did we?
But it took him a long time to get back in the team, right?
Yes.
And then maybe, the likes of, I don't know, did we play Liam Plunkett too early? Papara potentially, or,
I don't know, do we? I don't know if we do.
But then what he's saying, someone like Hasid Hamid, Jennings, Liam Livingston. How old
Jennings is.
He's fairly young. Liam Livingston. These players who could have 3 or 4 more seasons county cricket, before being written off by England.
Yes.
So there's players out there.
I think it's a mistake to ever write a player off.
Convinced do a few more seasons in county cricket, come back really strong, a lot stronger.
Kevin Peterson, but yeah.
I think Crane's too young to play. This is it, isn't it? This is where it gets difficult because you start piping up. I don't think he's. I said this on the last.
You go on his age, don't you?
No, go on his experience. Yeah,
the age.
But then also go on his stats.
Right, which there are none really.
Because he hasn't played many games.
Right.
Fair enough, right? Well, I think there's somebody else in that England, well, not in the England lineup, but Jack Leach, who
we had a really long argument about this, and we came to the conclusion those are our 2 that we want, didn't we? We said we want Leach being our spinner, he's our main man, and we want Crane being our backup who comes with the England squad.
I didn't say I wanted him to come with the England squad, did I? I said I wanted him to be in contention.
I'd like him to be in the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions we agreed on.
Playing some Lion tours.
And if we were going to play 2 spinners, then he would have to be thought about quite strongly, along with Rashid.
You got to be taking 2 spinners with you on tours. You can't take just one. It's all right to have one in your squad when we're playing in England, but when we go on a tour, you can't leave Crane at home and then fly him out.
Yeah, well, fair enough then. Look, if it's a winter tour, I'm not bothered. But I don't want him missing county games.
No, good point.
I don't think he's good enough at the moment. But I think he has potential to be good enough.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah. There's nothing to base this on.
Well, I don't think he's taken enough wickets at county level.
Why does that mean he's not good enough?
Well, how has he shown he's good enough?
But how has he shown he's not good enough?
By not taking as many wickets as other spinners out there.
But that doesn't mean he's not good enough, does it?
He's not as good as those players.
But he hasn't played as much as those players.
But in that season, in those same amount of games in that season, he hasn't taken as many wickets as the likes of Jack Leach.
Right. I see.
So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if Jack Leach has taken 300 wickets before that season. Take those stats. Jack Leach is still out bowling or taking more wickets than Mason Crane during a season.
I agree. I think he should be our spinner.
And I don't think Mason Crane should be our spinner. I think he should.
I don't know why Leach isn't.
I think Mason Crane should be playing county cricket. He should be getting more experience. He should be getting better at bowling. He should be learning how to play cricket scenarios differently, increasing as a player, improving as a player, and improving his skills week in, week out by having the ball in his hand, taking wickets at county level.
Yeah.
I don't want him in anywhere near the England team, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do this again.
Well, they don't know what your point was, so just quickly. I know we did this last time, but just quickly.
But you're.
Could you just quickly round up what your point was against mine, so our subscribers know, our listeners know where you're getting at from?
I just get annoyed when you write players off when you don't know anything about them.
Right.
On some number.
Right.
That's what I don't get.
Do you think I've written Crane off?
You're saying he's not good enough.
He's not. But that's a fact.
It's not.
You think he is good enough?
He can't possibly know that.
You think he is good enough?
No one knows it. It's not known.
I feel dizzy. Do you think he is good enough?
I don't know. That's my point. You can't play a leg spinner in one test match, them not have a good test match and say they're not good enough.
That's true.
That's just ridiculous.
I don't think he was good enough to start that match anyway.
I think it's hard to argue against that he didn't have the credentials to be picked in the first place. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
But I can't.
You're saying that giving him one game's not...
To giving him one game and saying, oh, he's definitely not good enough is ridiculous.
But you could say, we don't think he's good enough, but not based on that game, couldn't you?
I think there is potential. You can see with the way he bowls, you can see why he's in the England setup. Should he be England spinner? No. Should we go, he can't be England spinner?
No.
Definitely not. We should not do that to ourselves.
We should at the moment, though.
But it's like, if he'd have played that first test match and taken 5 for 60, you wouldn't be saying this.
That is very true.
So...
I think I've had so much caffeine today.
You're going off one game.
My eyes are I'm starting to feel dizzy.
Right.
You know what happens? And your eyes start glooping around.
I've drank a lot of coffee today.
Last comment, Sajid Khan, I couldn't find you on my iPhone.
What, the podcast?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that's... If that's
You've got an
iPhone.
Google.
Yeah, that's all I ever find my podcast on.
You're not subscribed?
On my iPhone, no.
Decent.
That's all I ever find it on.
And when you search, it comes up.
I just put into YouTube long hop cricket,
and we come
up.
Well, you found us in the end, Sajid, so nice to have you on board. And that's it for comments.
There we go. Again, apologies, and we won't be doing this to you again. This sort of neglect.
We will be back with hopefully Ben Stokes on the podcast.
Yeah.
For the New Zealand ODIs. So we shall see you then.
See you later, fellas. Cheers for listening.
And ladies.
And ladies, because that's really what makes the podcast, isn't it? If you don't listen, it doesn't happen.